Okay, looks like we are recording now. So it just gave me a couple of different little messages here. So let's try this. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga for Aging Strong. We are using optional hand weights this month for our practice. If that's something that you don't care to do, I'm absolutely fine with that. Do all of the movements as you can without using the extra workload. I have a pair of fives, so it's not really super light, but not heavy either, something on the moderate medium side. I also have 2 blocks today, and I'm going to give you a demonstration on how to get up and down from the floor using 2 blocks, as well as using your chair today. So I'd like for you to just come into a nice mountain pose. Your feet can be hips distance apart, or you can glue them together, arms by your side. I want you looking for your best posture today. And begin to focus on breathing. And I like you to breathe right up here into your heart. So as you inhale, feel the heart expanding outward and lifting up. And when I do that, it almost helps me to connect with my shoulder blades a little bit more. Because as I expand here through the chest, I can draw the shoulder blades together as I'm sending that breath forward into the heart center. And then as palms come up to heart center, sit into chair. Again, find your good alignment here. Check to make sure your knees are tracking correctly, that we're not allowing them to drop in, that you feel some nice activation through the outer thigh hips area, the glute medial glute. And then as you come up out of that chair, reach the arms up any amount. Bend your elbows, perhaps bringing your wrists behind the back of your head. Straighten your arms back up. And then come back down into your chair. And then to mountain pose. Now, if you need to reduce your range of motion, we can come to chair. We can press forward any amount. Bend your elbows, maybe bringing your thumbs to your third eye center. Reach back out. And then come down and rise up. So I want you to modify for your shoulders today. So we bend the elbows, hands to heart center, sit into chair. We press up and rise, straightening the arms any amount. Then we bend the elbows and straighten. Sink back into chair and return to mountain pose, finding that good posture. So let's flow through that pattern of movements from chair. We rise up with the arms. We bend the elbows. We straighten. We sink back into chair and return to mountain. Let's do 3 more. Chair. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Bend the elbows, stretching through the triceps. Straighten. Back to chair, Utkatasana. And back to mountain. Tadasana. 2 more. Chair. Rise, reach. Bend the elbows. Keep the abs engaged. Straighten the arms. Back into chair. And return to mountain. 1 more time. Chair. Reach. Bend the elbows. Straighten. Come back to chair. And rise up to mountain. So if you'd like, let's try that sequence with your weights. And if you want to pick up your weights and just do the chair portion, hands at heart center, and not press the arms up, all of this is okay. I want you to choose the flow that works best for your body. Let's draw those shoulder blades back. Bring hands to heart center, sink into chair. Press up with any amount with the arms, stretch. Bend the elbows. Straighten. Back to chair and to mountain. Let's do 4 more rounds for 5. And I'll let you pick your breath flow pattern. Just do what feels best for your body in the moment. Just making sure that you are breathing. And 3 more. Sink chair. Drive up with your legs. Reach. Elbows bend. Straighten. Back to chair. And mountain. 2 more. We're firing the biceps, the triceps and shoulders, the triceps, and then everything into the negative, coming down and releasing. 1 more round. Chair. Urdhva Hastasana. Elbows bend. Straighten. Back to chair. Utkatasana. And mountain pose. Tadasana. Great. So I'm going to face my chair here and bring my weights right to the top of the chair. That way I've got them when I need them. And let's use our chair to flow through a half series vinyasa. You can also use the floor if you want to go right down to the floor. So let's bring our hands down to the floor or the chair and walk our feet back and find a downward dog. I do love the chair for down dog. It just feels like I get a really wonderful stretch everywhere, but I don't feel any strain into my wrists or elbows or shoulders. Now, if you're on the floor, you're doing down dog, or you could even be doing child's pose from the knees. So let's do a half series vinyasa. So we'll inhale to come forward to plank. And again, you can be down on the floor. We'll bend the elbows a little bit, chaturanga, and then press the arms up to straight and let the hips drop into our upward facing dog. If you're on the floor, you can do baby cobra, and then press back to down dog. So I'm going to do 2 more rounds on the chair, and then I'll come down to the floor. We'll inhale forward to plank. Shoulders are over wrists. Exhale, bend the elbows any amount. Straighten them back up and drop your hips into spinal extension. And then press back to down dog. 1 more time. Glide forward to plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And back to down dog. All right, you can remain there on the chair. We can take this down to the mat. And I'm going to do it from the knees first and come into a child's pose. We'll come forward to kneeling plank. We'll lower down, and then we'll take a little baby cobra here on the mat. Not pressing too much with the arms. And then push back, either child's pose or tuck the toes, downward dog. We've done these modifications many, many times, so it's good just to review them. So we can also come forward into a full plank. Bend the elbows any amount, chaturanga. Let the hips drop. You can turn the tops of your feet to the mat or stay tucked under. And then press back to down dog. Let's take 1 more round of your choice of a half series vinyasa. Glide forward to plank or kneeling plank. Bend the elbows any amount, chaturanga. Extend the spine long into cobra or upward facing dog. And press back into your down dog. Let's walk the feet back toward the hands, coming toward the top of your mat into forward bend. And then bend the knees, circle sweep the arms out and up. Inhale. And just exhale into mountain, arms by your side. All right, I'm going to give you the option to take your weights with you as we do a full sun salutation. And I'm going to add what we did before in class with the weights. So starting here, nice strong mountain pose. We'll bring the palms to heart center, sit into chair. We'll press up, reaching the arms any amount. Bend the elbows. Straighten. Come back down into your chair. And then from here, we'll fold forward into forward bend. Now you can put your weights on your chair if you're using chair and step back to downward dog. So you're either on your chair or on the floor. Let's take your half series vinyasa. Inhale, glide forward to plank. Knees or toes, lower down any amount. Take your spinal extension, lengthen, and then press back into your down dog. So we're going to take a nice big step forward with your right foot to come into warrior one. So you can either bend your knees and kind of jump your foot forward, or you can lift your leg up nice and high and swing it through. Now, what if it only makes it this far? Then you can keep stepping it forward, even maybe use your hand, and then plant the back foot. Take your weights with you as you come up. Bring your palms to your heart center. And again, the weights are just an option. Breathing. Now really find that nice stability in the lower body. And let's go through that arm pattern, pressing the arms up any amount. Bend the elbows back. Straighten the arms. And come toward the chest. Just 2 more. And this is so great without weights as well. It's just a nice stretch. It's a nice movement pattern. 1 more time. And bring those weights to your chest. Now we're going to shift into our balance pose, which is warrior 3. You can use your chair to tap your fingers on if needed, or start to lift this back foot off the floor and hold your balance pose. Now I'm just going to bring my weights to tap the chair with my weights. And then if I feel like I have my balance, I'm going to let the weights come down. Good. 2 more breaths. Then we'll bend the front knee, step that foot back, and then take the hands either to the floor or the chair, setting your weights down, and push yourself back into your downward dog. Now, if you need a break here, child's pose is available. It's absolutely fine. And let's take our optional half series vinyasa. So glide forward to plank. Bend your elbows any amount, chaturanga. Extend through the spine, cobra or up dog. And then take a big lift of the hips back into your down dog. Okay, the left leg now is going to step forward. So we can lift that leg up. We can bend the knees and spring that leg forward. We can help it along the way. Plant the back foot. Take your weights with you as you come up. Warrior 1. Now we want to really press the back hip forward so our hips are squared. 3 rounds of our arm pattern. So we press the weights up. We bend the elbows. Straighten. And down. This really does affect our balance in Warrior 1 much more than it did before when we were in chair. Last one. Palms back to heart. We've got to get ready for our balance pose. So we can step that back foot forward a little bit. We can let our hands touch the top of the chair and come into our balance pose. We can let the weights hang down and breathe. Two more breaths. If you're using the chair, that's okay. It helps you to really focus on your form and your posture. Okay, let's step that foot back again. And then we'll reach the hands down, setting the weights to your chair, to the floor. Push back into your down dog. There goes my weight. It's going to roll away. Great. And then we'll walk the feet all the way up to the hands toward the top of the mat. Forward bend. Bend the knees deeply, circle sweep the arms out and up, stretch. And come to your mountain pose. Okay, I'd like you to take one of your weights. I'll grab that one that rolled away. And then we're just going to step out into the long position on your mat. And turn out this front foot here that's closest to the top of your mat so we can come into a warrior two stance. So this is an open hip pose. We want the knee directly over the ankle. Back leg is straight. And your weight is in the back arm. I'd like for you to take a nice big stretch and let the weight almost pull your body into that side stretch. And then as you pull it up, just reach the right arm forward. You can look toward your hand. And then turn your palm up. Reverse warrior. I'm really finding how having this weight is challenging my balance. It's almost shifting my body forward into my toes, into the balls of the feet. And then come up. All right, take this left elbow, bend it, bring the right hand down to support, come into side angle pose. So your hand can be here, maybe even your elbow, and let the arm drift across the front of the body. We have about a 90-degree bend in the elbow, and we'll work the rotator cuff. So rotate and back across. And that left elbow stays in toward the rib cage. So we don't want to let the arm go away from the body as we're straightening it and let our arm come out here. So keep it tucked in. Try to keep your shoulders squared. And let's get 3 more. It's going to give us about 8 reps. Nice and slow, controlled. I feel the work in that front leg too, supporting my pose. One more time. Great. Now bring yourself back up. Reach out. Take this left arm and we'll bicep curl, rotating curl. Good job. Now you can try this in the warrior, in the reverse warrior. So if you'd like to add the side bend, we'll take it right here and curl. This just gives you a little bit different angle to the floor, to your workload, and it gives you that nice reverse warrior stretch through the side body. And let's get 3 more. And 2, if you're gazing up to the sky, a little bit more difficult for balance. Last one. And then draw yourself up and take a break. We'll switch the stance with the feet. Pivoting, turning the left foot now out into our warrior stance. The weight is in the right hand. Try to bring your torso as much squared to the front as you can, but still keep that knee in alignment. So if your torso has to be a little bit on an angle here, that's okay. It's more important that you keep this knee in alignment. All right, let's take your nice reverse warrior and stretch. You're letting that weight kind of pull your body into the side bend. And then pull it up and reach. You can look toward your hand. And then inhale as we stretch. I'm definitely feeling my body weight tipping into the balls of my feet again. And it's all because I have this weight in my hand. It's affecting my center of gravity and my core positioning. One more. And bring it up. Okay, let's bend that elbow about 90 degrees. Bring your hand or your elbow down to support and let the arm fold in front of your belly. We've got a 90-degree bend, and we'll rotate up into that rotator cuff. Working external rotation with the workload. Keeping the elbow in nice and snug. Looking for about 8 reps. Slow and controlled. 4 more. Great. 3. Even if you're not using weights, this is a good movement to do for mobility of the rotator cuff. Last one. And then pull it up. Straighten the arm down. Get good alignment of shoulders over hips. And we'll bicep curl. Or take this into your reverse warrior and then bicep curl. Good. 5. See if you can tweak your posture just a little bit more. Use your proprioception. 2. And 1. Good. Draw it back up. Straighten both legs. Pivot your feet forward. We'll soften the knees a little bit and then just forward fold to set our weight back down on the floor, and give yourself a few breaths here to stretch. So I mentioned at the beginning of class I was going to give you a little tutorial on using 2 blocks to step our feet towards our hands. So that's an option, or using your chair, or using the floor. So let's rise back up, take a nice big inhale, stretch, and exhale. Begin to walk your feet together. Good job. And then we'll come back to the top of our mat. So if you like the 2 blocks option, you're going to take 1 block on either side of the long edge of your mat, and one hand is going to go onto each block. We'll try it with our chairs first, so that if you don't have blocks, you've got an option to use here. So we'll bring our hands to our chair, walk the feet back. We're in our downward dog. And you're going to shift your body weight into the left leg to lift your right foot up off the floor behind you. Take a step forward into lunge, either high crescent lunge or warrior 1, and then rise up. Then from here, we reach back down to the chair and push back to our downward dog. And we'll try it on the other side. Your left leg lifts up, so we've got to balance here. We step the foot forward into our lunge. Back heel is either planted or lift off the floor. We reach, or arms can be here or at the heart center. And then we reach down to the chair and step back to down dog. Let's do that one more time on each side using the chair. We lift with the right leg. We step forward. We rise up into lunge. And then we push back to our down dog. I do enjoy using the chair here. It's really nice. Left leg lifts. Step forward. Rise up. And then we'll bring hands to the chair and just step the back foot forward, a little forward bend, and then rise up into mountain. So we can choose to stay with the chair a few more rounds, or we can use the blocks in very much the same way. So we'll inhale, reach, exhale, forward fold until you've got one hand on each block. Step back to your down dog. Now make sure your blocks aren't going to slide. You want to make sure they're nice and firm. We'll lift the right leg up, step through, finding your lunge, and lift up. So the blocks just allow your body to be a little bit more lifted, so it makes it easier to step the feet forward. Then we bring the hands back down, step back to your down dog. Left leg lifts, step forward, and rise up. Now, obviously, if you don't need the blocks, you don't need the chair, you can do this on the floor. Let's step back to our down dog. After my knee and hip replacements, I find it difficult to step that foot all the way forward, so I do enjoy using the props. Let's do 2 more on each side. Right leg lifts. Step through. Rise up. And lower down, push back to your down dog. Left leg lifts. Big step through. And rise up. Either high crescent lunge with your heel lifted or warrior one with your heel planted. We've got 1 more on each side. Back to your down dog. Right leg lifts. Step through. Plant the foot or leave the heel lifted. Oh, I felt more successful in that one, getting a bigger step forward. And then lower down, push back to your down dog. Left leg lifts. Big step through. Rise up to your lunge. And then come back to your down dog. If you're using the chair, we are going to be coming into child's pose. So you can make your way down to the floor. If you're using your chair for down dog, we'll drop our knees down. I'm going to bring my little knee padding across. Knees come down. Now, I really enjoy child's pose with the double blocks. So I'm going to walk my hands forward so my hands are up on the blocks, and then take my child's pose. It just gives me a better lat stretch, lifting those arms up a little bit. And if you only have one block, you can choose to put it under one hand for a little bit and then bring it to the other one. Or you can also use your block underneath your forehead if your head doesn't touch the floor in a child's pose. Okay, we're going to make our way to our hands and knees. Option to have one of your hand weights, and we are going to tuck that behind the right knee. So you've got to grip it by bending your knee a little bit more, and this is going to activate your hamstring. And then we're going to pick that right leg up off the floor, and the left hand lifts as we come into spinal balance. And then let's tighten the right glute by pressing the leg up a bit and down 8 times. Press up. And again, you can do this without the weight. Absolutely wonderful. Scoop your abs in so you're not sagging the lumbar spine. 4 more. Hamstring and glute really working. 3. And 2. And 1. Great. Bring the hand down, the knee down, and then switch that weight, optional, to the left leg. Get it in there nice and tight so you don't drop it. Bend your knee vigorously. Press the leg up. Find your balance. Lift your right arm as an option. And then squeeze the glute as we press the weight up for 8. And 7. Engage the Uddiyana Bandha, that abdominal lock. Make sure your head position is in your little L, in alignment with the sternum. And 3 more. Exhale, press up. 3. And 2. And 1. Lower the hand, lower the knee, remove the weight. And let's take a thread the needle. So we'll reach the right arm up or place the hand on the shoulder. And exhale, thread through, relaxing the right side of your head and your shoulder down toward the mat. And then your left arm, your hand can come back behind your sacrum or try to wrap your fingertips toward the hip crease on the right side. Try to balance the energy into both knees so that your weight is equally distributed. And then we'll bring the left hand back down to the floor to press yourself up. Inhale and reach. And then set that right hand back down to the mat. Let's lift the left arm or just the elbow or shoulder. And then thread the needle through. If your head doesn't touch the floor, you can use your block there. Option to have your right hand at your sacrum or wrapped behind your back. Balance out the weight into both knees so that your pelvis is level. And good. We'll press the right palm into the floor. Inhale, stretch up one more time. And exhale, the hands down. All right, let's transition to a seated position. And I'm going to use my blanket to sit. Good. And we'll take the right leg forward, the left knee to bend, and sit up nice and tall. We've got a twist here. A couple of ways we can do this twist. We can keep the left leg toward the inner thigh of the right leg, or we can cross this left leg over. This opens up the hip a little bit more. Hug the knee in towards your chest and rotate to the left side, reaching the left arm behind you to create a nice second spine. And really lengthen all the way from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Stretch. And then we'll reverse our twist. Keep your legs the way they are. Just turn the other direction. It's usually known as the counter twist. Now this one should feel like you can go further because we're twisting into the open space rather than the closed space. And then come back to center. If your foot's across, we'll bring it back on the same side and let your knee open into a little half butterfly. And then we'll inhale, the arms up. Exhale and reach forward any amount, just holding 3 breaths. If you have your yoga strap handy, you can grab that for assistance, but we won't be here too long. And then inhale, sweep the arms back up. Make a big circle with your arms to bring your hands back behind you with your fingertips slightly turned out. And bring your knee back into neutral. We'll press down into the left foot and lift the hips up any amount. So this is our reverse plank. Now, if that bothers your shoulders, you can leave your seat down on the floor and just open your heart center, stretching through the chest. Okay, let's come back down and then we'll switch feet. So right knee is bent, left leg is extended long. We'll prepare for our twist. And we're going into the closed space first. Option to cross the ankle, hug the knee into your chest, reach behind you and lengthen upward and rotate and hold and breathe. You want to see how far you can rotate the head as well as the mid and upper back. Your low back or your lumbar doesn't have very much rotational ability. So we're concentrating mostly on the mid and upper back and the neck. Okay, let's counter twist. So we'll reach the other way, looking over your left shoulder. Try not to slump. Really lift upward. Great, let's come back to the center line. Allow this knee to open out for our half butterfly. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, reach out forward, or you can even put your hands behind you and press from behind. And hold 3 breaths. Inhale back up. Circle the arms behind you. Reach the fingertips back to the floor. Bring the knee back to neutral. Press into the right foot and the left heel and lift the hips up into your reverse plank. And then lower down. Then we'll take both legs out long. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, one more forward fold here for 3 breaths. Inhale, rise up. Circle the arms behind you, turning those fingers out slightly. Now you have the option to keep both legs straight or to bend both knees a little bit as you press up into reverse plank. So see which one's going to work best for you. If it bothers your shoulders to lift your hips off the floor, just stretch just like this. Pull the shoulder blades back, open up the heart. And then we'll lower down, sit up tall, bring both knees to bend so we're in our butterfly. Inhale the arms. Exhale, stretch 3 breaths. And then just rise up and prepare to come down onto your back. So if you'd like, you can roll over to your side and then come to your back, or just roll down from here, holding behind the knees. And then we are going to come into our wind relieving pose. It's a great stretch for the low back. We bring the right knee into the chest. So there's many levels for this. We can keep the opposite knee bent, foot on the floor. We can straighten that bottom leg. We can also curl our head and shoulders up, bringing the nose up toward the knee in either one of these 2 positions. You can do a couple of ankle circles here, each direction. And then we'll lower down, setting that right foot to the floor. Hug left knee up into your chest. Option 1. Option 2. Option 3. Head and shoulders up. Circle the ankle. And reverse. And lower down. All right, switch legs again. Hug right knee into chest. Option, head and shoulders up. And we'll hold behind the leg and try to straighten and bend the knee any amount. Bottom leg can be extended. You're using your quad, and that's going to help you lengthen your hamstring. 2 more. 1 more. And relax. Left knee up to chest. Option